Everyone, if you take a seat, we'll get started. We're going to reconvene in open session. So the quarterly meeting of the Texas State University System Board of Regents is now reconvened in open session. We have a quorum present, and for the record, the date is February 19th, 2016, and the time is 9:04 a.m. Good morning, everybody. I'd like to thank Dr. Betty Reynard for hosting us last night. Betty, it was fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man, that was some of the best fried shrimp I've ever had.
My childhood, it was wonderful.
And thank you for the Mardi Gras beads. Brings back great memories of just last weekend. But when I could throw, I threw my arm out riding on that float. And the kids were fantastic. That music is just superb.
They did a great job.
They're just fantastic. Wonderful, wonderful voice, wonderful musicians. Let's go on to the Student Advisory Board report. Speaking of students, I'd like to thank all of the Student Advisory Board members for being here today. We really enjoyed breakfast with you guys as always, and appreciate the time that we have had to visit with you before the meeting. I'd like to invite the presidents, if you would, to introduce your Student Advisory Board members. Paul, you want to start?
Good morning. Pleasure to reintroduce our president, Anna Comier, who is an instrumentation major, and Tommy Tate, who's our vice president, who is a real estate major. And I'd also like to thank all the Lamar component SGA leadership teams for the hosting of all the other visiting schools and their friends during the past couple days as well.
I'm pleased to introduce from Lamar Orange, our SGA president, Zedric Cesar. He's a liberal arts major from Orange, and the secretary of our SGA, Rebecca Foxworth. She's also from Orange, majoring in process technology, and she's a sophomore.
Good morning. I'd like to introduce the two SGA officers from Lamar State College, Port Arthur. Jessica is with us this morning. She is an HITT major, and she is from Vidor, Texas. Also with her is Bradley Fant. Bradley is a business major, and if I'm not mistaken, I think he's graduating soon. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair Garza. With us this morning, we have our SGA Vice President, Timothy Gonzalez. Timothy, where are you? There he is. He's a computer science major. He graduates in the spring of 17 when hometown here is Beaumont. In the spirit of the rigor of Lamar University's academic programs, our SGA president, Robert Ehrlich, is actually in class. He's a chemical engineering major, and he's anticipating graduating this May, so let's excuse his absence, please.
All right, thank you, Chair. I'd like to introduce two in attendance today. We have one that is not in attendance, our SGA President, Phil Lund, but because he has drill commitment. He's a Marine in training, so to speak. So, but here today with us, we have Jacqueline Bolden, who is our SGA Vice President. And she is a junior majoring in political science. She's from Corpus Christi and plans to go to law school. So, and also attending, since Phil is not, is Dylan McFarland. He's our SGA treasurer. He's a junior majoring in criminal justice and would like to be a state trooper. Thank you.
Good morning. We have two of our members of our student leadership this morning. Derek Stratton is our SGA president. Derek is from El Paso, a senior criminal justice major. Plans to be a Texas state trooper and eventually guard the border of Texas, and so great plans for Derek. And Danielle Lucero, who is our vice president. Danielle is an animal science major. She's from Gardendale, Texas, a senior. Plans to go to Texas A&M University after graduation, get an MBA, and then go on to vet school, so she will take care of all your dogs and cats in the future. And in the same spirit as Ken, work and school obligations kept our student leadership from Rio Grande College from attending. So, but they are doing their thing back in Rio Grande College. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. I'm pleased to introduce Lauren Stotler, who is the president of student government. She's a senior. She's going to graduate in August, and she's from Flower Mound, Texas. Our vice president is not here today. He's with his father, celebrating his father's birthday. It's one of those big, important milestone birthdays, so he's with him. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Thank you, Presidents. I'd like to ask the Student Advisory Board President if they'd like to make the report to the Regents.
Good morning. Chancellor McCall, Mr. Chair, and fellow members of the Board of Regents. Good morning. I would like to thank the Lamar University and all those who helped the Student Advisory Board during our stay in Beaumont, Texas. The board members are excited to welcome 2 first-time members from Lamar Orange to the Student Advisory Board. This report will touch on 3 areas that directly affect student retention. The Student Advisory Board is continuing the discussion on ways to engage students more on campus, and as well as strengthening student services. Raising the student center fee cap. The Texas State University system has experienced a steady increase in enrollment at our various components. The consistent growth on our campuses has led several institutions to begin plans to renovate and expand student centers. Across the system, the advisory board has seen an increase in the number of students who use the student center for meeting rooms, additional dining, retail options, game rooms, and technology-enriched areas. Overcrowding and booking of meeting rooms, as well as lack of space for programs, has become a persistent problem. According to the Education Code, the Texas State University system student center fees may not exceed $100 per semester. 3 of our 7 institutions have or are about to reach the $100 fee cap. The Student Advisory Board as a whole is in full support of raising the cap for student center fees in the event that any of our institutions see the need for expansion, growth, maintenance, and other improvements. The Student Advisory Board will be writing legislation and submitting it to our student bodies for voting on whether or not to raise the student center fee cap. Our hope is to have a unified consensus from all of our institutions in support of our efforts. The Student Advisory Board asks for the support of the Board of Regents in reopening the conversation on raising the student center fee caps. Food services. While every institution has numerous committees that allow for student representation on them, one committee that the Student Advisory Board believes should have a mandatory student representation is one that falls under services best classified as dining services advisory committees. This is due to the fact that each institution in the system has a contractual partnership with the food service providers such as Airmark or Chartwells. Recently, there has been increases in providers and prices for meal plans as well as pay-as-you-go food services. The Student Advisory Board acknowledges and understands the justification for the increased prices. However, we do not understand why there has been limited to no student representation in the negotiations between the components and the food service providers that have invariably resulted in these increased prices. The Student Advisory Board would view it quite favorable to have student representation at the negotiations between the components and food service providers. By allowing for adequate student representation to be present and mandated at these interactions, the institution and the service provider would guarantee quality student service as well as allowing for opening of further dialogues between institutions, students, and food service providers. Retention programs. The Student Advisory Board recognizes the issue of retention in modern higher education. We believe that peer-to-peer mentorship programs such as FIGS and learning communities are critical factors in freshman school careers. 5 out of our 7 institutions have implemented such programs. However, 2 of our 2-year institutions have no such program. The Student Advisory Board suggests that the availability of a peer mentorship program be mandatory for every institution, and this be written into system policy. We believe that these programs are great assets to students, to get students involved, and we wish to see these programs grow in size and importance. Faculty staff diversity. As our campuses become increasingly more diverse, the advisory board would like to see the growing diversity reflected in our faculty and staff. We recognize that students are also more likely to stay at a university and learn valuable lessons from different viewpoints and experiences that a truly diverse faculty can offer. We understand that this is a process that will take years to implement, but it is important for us to start brainstorming ways now to recruit diverse candidates for both faculty and staff positions. And on behalf of the Student Advisory Board, I would like to extend our most sincere appreciation for the opportunity to speak before you today. We understand that few students get to advocate for change and speak openly before such an accomplished group of individuals. The Student Advisory Board has set goals for voters registration, and our campuses look forward to tallying up our numbers for our next report. And in May, we appreciate this opportunity and are eager to continue advancing our individual institutions and assisting in improving the system as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Well, I'd like to thank all the Student Advisory Board members. I hope you realize that you're the reason we're sitting up here. Regents, we're going to jump up to a little bit on our agenda. The following two items are items that were postponed from yesterday's miscellaneous agenda. I'd like to ask the photographer to get ready and available to take pictures of the following presentations, if you would. At this time, I'd like to ask Ms. Chris Thompson, her family, and Dr. Hoyt to come to the podium. And I'd also like to ask Regent Bill Scott, who's the regent that's assigned to Sam Houston State University, to move to the podium. Please, if you'll read the motion and the resolution.
Good morning. Mr. Chairman and fellow regents, I'm honored to make a motion that the Texas State University System confer the Regents Staff Award to Ms. Chris Thompson of Sam Houston State University, and the Regents Staff Award be conferred in perpetuity upon Ms. Thompson, Associate Athletic Director for Student Services and Senior Women's Athletic Administrator, Sam Houston State University. And that the Regents Staff Medallion also be presented to her, that she has the right to wear such medallion at appropriate events, and that she be recognized as having received this award, and the attached resolution be adopted and presented to her and forever recorded and preserved in the minutes of this Board of Regents. I'll now read the resolution. Board of Regents, the State of Texas University System resolution designating Chris Thompson as Regent staff member. Whereas the Board of Regents of the Texas State University System has determined that it would advance the cause of higher education in the state of Texas and contribute to the public good of the state to create the office of Regent staff member. And whereas the purpose of the office is to recognize exceptional and outstanding staff members of system component institutions who have demonstrated over an extended career commitment to the institution and its mission, job competency, collegiality, community involvement, and exceptional achievement. And whereas the office of Regent staff member is a lifetime designation bestowed by the Board of Regents upon personnel who've been acknowledged by their supervisors and peers as exceptional and recommended by the Texas State University System Foundation Board of Directors, the Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, and the University President. And whereas Chris Thompson is Associate Athletic Director for Student Services and Senior Women's Athletic Administrator, Sam Houston State University, has achieved such excellence over a 33-year career by ceaseless dedication to the well-being and achievement both on and off the field of up to 426 athletes in 17 varsity sports. And whereas Ms. Thompson, as NCAA compliance officer, has demonstrated exceptional skill and judgment in proactively resolving student-athlete eligibility issues, thereby significantly contributing to Sam Houston State University winning the prestigious Southland Conference Commissioners Cup 5 times between 2005 and 2014. And whereas Ms. Thompson's strong emphasis on academic achievement directly resulted in Sam Houston University student athletes earning overall department grade point averages higher than the general student population each of the last 22 years, maintaining a cumulative grade point average of greater than 3.0 for all 4 long semesters ending in May of 2014, achieving a record 3.16 grade point average for the fall of 2015 semester, and receiving 23 Southland Conference Student Athlete of the Year awards and 11 College Sports Information Directors of America Academic All-Region Awards in the past decade. And whereas Chris Thompson, by her qualities of service and character, has brought great honor to Sam Houston State University, the Texas State University system, and the great state of Texas, now therefore be it resolved on the 19th day of February 2016 that Chris Thompson be designated Regents staff member and forever hold that said title, including all honors, rights, and privileges appurtenant thereto.
We'd like to formalize this motion. Regent Scott has made a motion. Do we have a second? Second, Regent Tinsley. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The motion passes. Congratulations, Ms. Thompson.
I'm going to take a couple minutes and embarrass Chris a little bit more because she's very worthy of these accolades. When I talk about our athletics program, and actually I attend a lot of recruiting events, the one thing I tell the parents over and over again, that our secret weapon is Miss Thompson. And that she has done more to benefit the welfare and academics of those student athletes, and she's always there. And so the quick story I'm going to relay is that when I went to tell her that she was going to receive this award, I went to her office. And when I showed up at her office, there was a young man, track athlete, that has been doing some Olympic training. His wife is an Olympic gymnast. And he was there, and both he and Chris cried together when he heard this, because he was so thrilled that she was going to get this. And he comes back to the campus to visit her, of everybody there. So it's just, and that's a story that tells you what she's meant to those young people over the years. So anyway, thank you for agreeing with that.
Thank you all very much. It was wonderful. I'd now like to ask Dr. Fernando Keith, his family, and Dr. Kibler to come to the podium. And I'm going to ask Regent Vernon Reeser, the Regent for Sul Ross State University, to move to the podium. If you would please read the motion and the resolution, Regent Reeser.
Regents, I am honored to make a motion this morning that the Texas State University system confer the Regents Teacher Award to Dr. Fernando Key of Sul Ross State University, and that the Regents Teacher Award be conferred in perpetuity upon Fernando Key, PhD, Professor of Education, Sul Ross State University, and the Regents Teacher Medallion to be presented to him, and that he have the right to wear such medallion at appropriate events, and that he be recognized as having received this award, and the attached resolution be adopted, presented to him, and forever recorded and preserved in the minutes of this Board of Regents. I will now read the resolution. Board of Regents the Texas State University System resolution designating Fernando Z. Key, Ph.D., Regents teacher. Whereas the Board of Regents of the Texas State University System has determined that it would advance the cause of higher education in the state of Texas and contribute to the public good of the state to create the Office of Regents Teacher. And whereas the purpose of the office is to honor exceptional educators of system component institutions who have demonstrated over an extended career outstanding performance in their roles as teachers, as evidenced by their dedication, skill, and knowledge of curriculum. Whereas the Office of Regents Teacher is a lifetime designation bestowed by the Board of Regents upon personnel who have been acknowledged by their students, supervisors, and peers as exceptional and recommended by the Texas State University System Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, the Texas State University System Foundation Board of Directors, and the University President. And whereas Fernando Z. Key, Ph.D., Professor of Education, Sul Ross State University, Rio Grande College, has achieved such excellence over a career spanning more than 15 years in higher education through cultivating and maintaining a reputation as a model classroom teacher committed to student success and completion, earning consistently superior recognition on student teaching evaluations. And whereas Dr. Key has garnered numerous awards for outstanding teaching at the institutional level, including an unprecedented 6 Rio Grande College Student Government Association Teacher of the Year awards. And as the primary faculty sponsor of the Future Educators Club, has worked diligently to expose Sul Ross State University Rio Grande College students to state and national education conventions. And whereas Dr. Key has distinguished himself by developing curricula for 14 undergraduate and 16 graduate courses, all of which have become education department standards, and by teaching up to 350 students per year, accounting for 1/3 of all Rio Grande College enrollments in any of 23 distinct courses throughout his tenure, and by his service as a San Felipe Del Rio Consolidated School Board member since 2003, has kept his students abreast of the latest educational trends and issues that challenge Texas public school districts. And whereas Fernando Z. Key, Ph.D., has brought great honor to Sul Ross State University, Rio Grande College, the Texas State University System, and the great state of Texas. Now therefore be it resolved on this 19th day of February 2016 that Fernando Z. Key be designated a Regents teacher and forever hold said title, including all honors, rights, and privileges appurtenant thereto.
Turn it around. Turn it around.
I'd like to formalize this. Now, we have a motion from Regent Reeser. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Regent Amato. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it and the motion passes. Congratulations, Dr. Keenan.
I'm going to do like Dana and offer one little quick story because these are just such extraordinary people. I was on the Del Rio campus just, I think it was 2 weeks ago, for a meeting with the faculty and staff, and opened a door, and down the hallway had to be at least 100 young school children, elementary size, no taller than this, down the hall, and right in the front, like the Pied Piper, was Fernando leading them in, and a comment from one of the members of the Del Rio staff was, "Oh, he does this all the time." And so, quite a tribute to the way he reaches out across that community. Thank you and congratulations.
Again, congratulations to you guys. What a well-deserved accomplishments and acknowledgement. Back to business. Campus updates. Lamar University update presented by Dr. James Marquardt, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Chancellor McCall, and fellow members of the Board of Regents. I guess before we begin with the update, I need to find Fernando. His check is here.
Fernando.
Good morning again to you, and I want to thank you, all of you, for being here with us, not only this morning, but for the last several days on campus and in our community here. So again, thank you. And I want to give you a quick update on Lamar University since I first arrived, which was in July. And we look forward to presenting on our undergraduate student experience more in May at the Regents meeting in Austin. So I have a couple of slides here for you to look at, and I will brief you on some things that we have currently going on campus. About a month after assuming my position, we held our first administrative retreat in downtown Beaumont. Off campus, we discussed our strategic plan, where we're going, and the formulation of next steps for Lamar University. 25 of us came together to discuss that, and it was a good meeting. It provided me an opportunity to learn more about the campus, the relationship between the campus, the community, and the region, and a lot of the things that are going on here. And it also gave us a clear roadmap as to where we need to concentrate our efforts and where we're going to be going in the future. So it was a great asset to me. Also had the chance to experience my first week of Welcome, which is our annual event to introduce students to student life at Lamar University at the beginning of the new school year. And in January, we added this week to our spring semester kickoff. It was well received with activities including a Martin Luther King celebration, a winter wonderland, okay, with a snowball fight and ice skating and other cold weather fun, along with program sessions and student organization information. Again, it's to enhance our overall student experience and get our kids acclimated to campus in the spring semester. Our Office of Undergraduate Research has awarded 19 grants in October based on proposals submitted by undergrads, and they're being mentored by our faculty. This program is in its third year, and the amount of grant requests has actually doubled each year since its inception. So we pride ourselves on undergraduate research and the experience that they have in working with our faculty. So I'm looking forward to seeing all the research presented this April at the Undergraduate Research Expo. And it's going to be here in this room, and I extend my offer to you that if you just happen to be cruising through the Beaumont community, please feel free to stop by. And it's amazing to see what these students are conducting research on. It's a wonderful thing. The Office of Study Abroad is also a newer program, and with the hiring of a director to manage all of our students who want to study in another country, it's also grown by leaps and bounds. Participation in this program has tripled in the past year, and the plan is to offer 20 faculty-led programs in 2016, starting with one offering held during winter break in graduate studies in mental health counseling in Santa Lucia. Next winter, I will be participating directly in that event to check the weather out there over the Christmas break. And two coming up over spring break in geography to Greece and other business in Costa Rica and Panama to get a behind-the-scenes tour of the new Panama Canal. So that should be an exciting trip for faculty and students to get direct experience in that. I also had the honor of being part of hundreds of our students' graduation ceremonies in August and in December. We had our summer commencement with 800 degrees being earned, and our own Chancellor McCall was the keynote speaker, so that was well done. And at the fall commencement held on December 11th, we hosted State Representative Dave Phelan at our College of Education and Human Development ceremony. We're very excited to announce that not only did we have a record enrollment of 14,966 students in the fall, but we did it again in the spring semester as well. So our efforts in terms of recruitment and admissions goes on every day. We're working hard to move the brand and the message of Lamar University in a variety of geographical areas in the state of Texas. So we're doing the best we can, and my hat's off to our recruitment and admission staff for what they're doing on behalf of Lamar University. This past Tuesday, I enjoyed getting to be part of one of our outstanding students athlete days. I know we just gave an award in terms of our service to student athletes, but I do want to mention another student athlete here, Cade Harrington. We had Cade Harrington Day. He's a junior running back. That means he'll be back next year, so that's a good thing for us. And he's here at Lamar and was honored by the city of Beaumont, proclaiming it Cade Harrington Day. The two-time National Offensive Player of the Week passed the 2,000-yard mark for his career in just 10 games, becoming only the 7th player in NCAA Division I history to do so. It's an amazing feat. And last season, Cade was one of 3 finalists for the Stats FCS National Offensive Player of the Year Award. It's the FCS's version of the Heisman Trophy. And one of the events I'm really looking forward to actually is going to be held on campus tomorrow all day, and that's our Lamar University Bound Preview Day. So we expect lots of prospective students and families and other interested parties on campus tomorrow. It'll be all day, tours, events. It's really exciting. So that's the day we bring our prospective students here to showcase what we're doing in the colleges, student organizations, and other relevant programs to help them to apply to Lamar and also to succeed. Very important. So tomorrow is an exciting day, and we're expecting a record turnout for this event. We have over 1,400 students of RSVP that they want to be here, so I think we're going to showcase our wares tomorrow, and it'll be an exciting day for us. And lastly, I want to conclude with an overview of the facilities that we have being updated and where we're at with that. You can see from the picture there at the top, that's the Wayne Rio Administration Building, and that's going to house the Honors College. The name is up on the building now, so on your way out today, you might want to drive by there and just get put your mind's eye on that facility as it is going up. It is now, and it will be a beautiful facility for this university. We'll be ready to move in, hopefully, late summer, and we'll be in there. So you may have seen it, like I said, on your way in. It's on the south side of campus. The other building that you see there is the Center for Innovation, Commercialization, and Entrepreneurship. That's going to be built right across the street from the administration building, and a fence is up, so that means good things are going to be coming in the future. The Setzer Student Center will undergo a major renovation starting this fall, and that's going to be ongoing for about 16 months, so that will enhance the picture of the university as well in support of our students. The new softball complex has been completed, and our women's softball team can now play on campus instead of a few miles away. And the Ty Terrell track has been resurfaced, and that was sorely needed as well. We have just completed the programming for the new Science and Technology building, and we're going to be going out trying to secure an architect for the design work for that building soon. And after that, we're also going to be moving into to renovate the Hayes Biology building. So lots of exciting building, lots of exciting renovation work, and a lot of this, all of it actually, is going to be combined for enhancing the student experience on campus. So it's very exciting. Again, I want to thank you for taking your time for being here at Lamar University. And I'll be available after the meetings if you want to ask any questions or offer any suggestions about what we're doing on campus. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Thanks. Regents, any questions or comments? It's a great job. What a great new day for Lamar University in Beaumont. Wonderful. LIT update. Dr. Paul Zook.
Good morning, everybody, again. As we started about 9 years ago, since you don't have the opportunity to actually tour the 4 campuses while you're here during this short time, we started taking you out to different locations and bringing the community to you. And in the next 4.5 minutes, we'd like to enhance your availability to meet and greet some of our faculty, staff, and programs in the outlying areas that you would not see here on our campus. So if you'll run our video, we certainly appreciate that. And we have a flash drive for each of you with this video for your sharing with your friends and neighbors.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Lamar Institute of Technology, a comprehensive public two-year college, continues to grow and expand its programs and offerings. We are proud of the role LIT has in building Southeast Texas economy. We're working hard to meet the needs of industry and business for well-trained, qualified workers for a variety of global jobs and individuals desiring to pursue a baccalaureate degree. We think the future is very bright indeed. What do we do at LIT?
What we do at LIT is instruct.
We prepare.
We teach.
Provide hands-on training.
We develop the workforce. We train students to earn a commercial driver's license for local, regional, and over-the-road driving. The students leave with a commercial driver's license and go to work in a stable industry where they don't have to worry about layoffs. We also do refresher courses for current drivers, and we'll also develop training to meet local business needs.
Bringing in new recruits and training them for entry-level positions in the fire service. With a strong emphasis on safety and physical fitness, students are trained in putting on their gear to the actual work of putting out a fire. The highlights for our students and faculty are at the end of an academy. We have a night fires exhibition in which the students demonstrate the skills they have learned to combat fires to their family and friends invited to the event.
Our program is comprehensive. Our students learn electrical theory, construction and maintenance of overhead and underground distribution. This is in the classroom and hands-on training in the field where we have them climbing poles and operating equipment. The market for our utility line technicians is really great. As a result, I get people calling for apprentices, and there are more opportunities than I can fill. When they graduate, we hold a lineman's rodeo with a friendly competition for students to demonstrate their newly acquired skills.
Our dual enrollment computer, networking, and troubleshooting technology program provides students with the opportunity to earn 24 hours of college credit and a computer support specialist certificate before they graduate high school. After they graduate, they can finish earning an associate's degree at LIT. The best news is that we have 100% job placement for all of our dual enrollment students.
We help people become job ready by providing non-college credit for certain workforce skills. This includes the skills needed to become a welder, clinical medical assistant, or pharmacy technician, among others. We also work with local businesses, industry, government, and education to provide in-service training for new and current employees on training they need now. Our courses and programs are customized and delivered to meet the employer's specific needs. We are flexible, comprehensive, and accrediting.
We are looking to the future at LIT. Our future, the future of the students who are counting on us to get them job ready, academically prepared, and the future of Southeast Texas. Lamar Institute of Technology. post-secondary education that works for people, for business, for communities, and for our state and nation.
Wow.
Oh, you're not gonna get me near that damn fire.
Sir?
You're not gonna get me near those fires.
The link sale got out of hand. We hope you enjoy our outreach to you so you can get to see the things that aren't the normal classroom experiences in the real world life that our students experience here every day. And we appreciate your continued support of our facility needs, our equipment needs, our faculty, staff, salary needs, and most importantly, our student success support needs. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. Fantastic. Regents, any more comments? That's just fabulous. Thank you so much. Lamar State College Orange, update presented by Dr. Gwen Whitehead, Vice President for Academic Affairs. Gwen?
Mr. Chairman, if I could get one word, I want to give you a little background to Dr. Whitehead's report. As a board, you all are in a unique position to look at higher education in Texas because you cover institutions like ours, 2-year institutions, all the way up to 4-year institutions with very robust graduate studies. So you have the whole gamut of higher education in front of you. And I remind you of that because it becomes a little bit of a challenge for us to present a campus report and compete against all the wonderful things our 4-year colleagues are doing. If I can make a poor analogy, we're meat and potatoes and they're gourmet dining. But what we do is important work. And I know most of you are very familiar with a 4-year campus and the culture, the progression of students coming right out of high school and moving on with their career. Probably less familiar with the 2-year campus. If you come to any of our institutions, you're going to find a very democratic, with a small d, setting. People from every walk of life, from a 16-year-old dual credit student to a 56-year-old who's been laid off and looking for a career change so that they can make it to retirement. We're an access and an opportunity institution, open admission. There are all kinds of challenges with that, but the rewards of getting people through and giving them a chance to improve their life are great. If you told me when I was in graduate school that I'd spent 39 years of my life at a 2-year institution, I would have told you you were a liar. That's never going to happen. But it's been wonderful. It's a challenge I enjoy, and we decided what we would try to do, instead of giving you tables and lots of numbers and everything, is give you some faces and some stories to kind of tell you why it is so rewarding. So, Gwen, I'll let you do that.
Hope I can handle the technology, so we'll see. This first shot has our little tagline that we like. We have, the Stay Close, Go Far tagline, but for a lot of us, we think we're the beautiful little campus downtown. Our campus is a pretty one, and it's a very well-kept secret in Orange, unfortunately. That makes the picture bigger. We're going to look at just a few numbers about our school. 54.8% of our students are over the age of 21. 38.4% of them are over the age of 25. 77.2% of our students come to us academically disadvantaged. And 52% of them are considered to be economically disadvantaged. 68.8% are female. It's a great place for guys to come if they're looking for a date. We haven't used that as a recruiting tool, but I keep thinking we should. And 13.9% of our students are single parents. So those are, and our average age is 24.6. So we have a higher age than the 4-year institutions. Those are the numbers, and we see those numbers all the time. We know we have a lot of single parents, we have a lot of older students, et cetera. But then behind the numbers, we picked out about 6 stories, I think, to give you just a quick shot. This is a young man named Tyler Crawford, got 2 degrees with us, business and communications in 2006. He came to us as a dual credit student in 2004. I actually taught him back in 2004. He became involved in SGA. He was the secretary of that organization. He worked on campus. We thought we might have to kick him out to get him to leave because he did love it there. But when he left us in 2006, he went in 2006, that's the right date there. He went to A&M Galveston and finished a degree in marine transportation, and he is now our maritime consultant. And we're kind of excited, he's very excited about coming full circle, starting with us and coming back to work with us. He commented, the only drawback about LSCO when I was a student here was that it didn't have a program that my heart was in. Building this maritime program means no other student with a passion for the maritime industry will have to go elsewhere to get the education and training necessary to work in the field. This young lady is one of our nursing students, Cartedria or Tootie Polk. Everybody on campus knows her as Tootie. She got her vocational nursing degree with us and also her upward mobility. You see, she had some time off in between the two of them because, like a lot of our students, she had life intervening there. When she came to us, she was a single mother with one child. In the interim between her 2 degrees, she had another child. So when she came back and worked for upward mobility, she had 2 children at that time. And she graduated and has become very successful since then. She says, the open door policy with the instructors at LSCO was excellent, being able to get assistance with any concerns or issues I had. I have much love and respect for all my LVN and RN instructors. LSCO helped mold me into the nurse I am today. This young man's one of my favorite stories. Matthew Perrine came to us straight out of high school, got an Associate of Science in Liberal Arts in 2010. And he may look like any young man standing there shaking the hand of a speaker, but Matthew is autistic. And Matthew had a little bit of difficulty settling into college life. His instructors had a little bit of difficulty figuring out how to work with Matthew. Many of them privately would beat their heads against the wall and then take a deep breath and go back to work with Matthew a little bit longer. Matthew left us, he went to LIT and he got a degree in computer science, and he is now a CAD drafter for a local engineering company. One of his instructors said about him, I smile every time I think of Matthew. If that's not a remarkable legacy, I don't know what one would look like. There was a lot of hard work that went into molding Matthew into the student that he became. That same instructor said, first test, Matthew had the lowest grade. By the second test, Matthew set the curve for everybody else once he knew what he needed to do. Our love story, it's close to Valentine's. We probably should have put lovebirds on them or something. Alex and Leanne Gonzalez, both of whom have been through our nursing programs, both did vocational nursing, and then both went into upward mobility. They met, I think it was Alex who was in school in 2011. That was when they first met, and they finished their upward mobility degrees together. They have been very successful, these two. Alex has been nominated and honored as Nurse of the Year because of his actions during Hurricane Rita in participating in evacuation and recovery. And he says that we asked him to write a letter. He says, I mention this not to be prideful, but rather to demonstrate the drive, confidence, and determination that was expected of a graduate of LSCO. Both of these young people are working toward becoming nurse practitioners, and they say, we are determined, successful leaders in our industry, something made possible by taking the first step towards our future at LSCO. We don't know a lot about Kevin. His instructors know a lot about him, but what they tell us is that he is a very quiet and private young man who had a very great uphill battle. He's had a lot of personal demons, apparently. His instructors didn't feel comfortable sharing those with us, and I didn't want to pry about them. But one of his instructors has said, his determination to succeed is unmatched by any student I've seen in our program. He's one of our process tech graduates, and he was employed almost as soon as he walked out of the program. This young lady is another fantastic story. I think you can see she has 2 small children there. She was raising those children while she was in nursing school, did vocational and upward mobility nursing with us. When she came in and applied for the LVN program, in the words of one of her instructors, she was a mess. She graduated, moved through the program with amazing finesse. Didn't know what she wanted to do when she showed up on our doorstep either. When she graduated with her upward mobility, she went on and finished a bachelor's degree in science and nursing from UT Arlington. And in 2014, she was asked to oversee the Golden Triangle Emergency Centers. We have 2 of those here in our area. So this young woman has gone from being a single mother who was living in a 2-bedroom home with 9 other people to being a very successful businesswoman. And she gives the credit back to the day that she walked into the nursing department and they said, the first thing you gotta do is pull your hair back and cover your tattoos. And she's gone on and really made a nice career for herself. And our last story is the Patronella family. Here they're at John Patronella Jr.'s graduation, but that is John Paul, his father John, his mother Shannon. All 3 of these have graduated from our institution. There is a daughter named Jacqueline who has taken many classes on our campus, and she will be graduating from Lamar University. She's not finishing, she's finishing here. She started with us. John and Shannon both started college right out of high school, but both of them quit. Life intervened. They had babies, they got jobs, all those kind of things. They encouraged their son, John Paul, to go to school. He enrolled in our process tech program, and he threw down the gauntlet. He asked his dad, he said, why don't you come take classes with me? And his dad finally said, okay, I'm scared silly, but I'm gonna come and do it. So he did that. He graduated, John did. 3 days later was employed at ExxonMobil. About a year later, his son graduated. Again, a few days after his graduation, took a job at ExxonMobil. Shannon, she graduated in fall of 2013, and she's now a student here on the Beaumont campus working on her degree in family consumer science. Their daughter will graduate in May this year with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. So I think that this is a family who found great success on the beautiful little campus downtown. And our little tagline, staying close, going far, transforming lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Whitehead. Lamar State College Port Arthur update presented by Dr. Betty Raynard, President.
Good morning. I'm pleased to report or present a brief video about the Lamar State College Port Arthur campus. It's just kind of an overview of some of the projects that we've had on campus, some of the successes that our students experience upon graduation, and I hope you enjoy it.
Exciting time to be part of our Lamar State College Port Arthur family. From a new college brand, the reorganization of student services, enhanced workforce training to an unprecedented level of new construction, Lamar State College Port Arthur continues on its path toward tomorrow. A tradition of success at Lamar State College Port Arthur is anchored in our college's history and the mission to provide quality education at an affordable price. Our new branding initiative gives a nod to the past, yet acknowledges the exciting future that awaits. The new logo provides a unique, high-impact, eye-catching, and unforgettable impression for current and future endeavors. The logo and a new website design are helping Lamar State College Port Arthur secure a solid, recognizable face in the community for years to come. Also new at Lamar State College Port Arthur is the Office of Workforce Training and Continuing Education, which brought more than 1,100 new faces to campus in the past year. The office has offered training in industrial safety, Class B driver's license, and certified medication and nurse aid. We also partnered with Motiva and Chevron Phillips to provide customized training for their employees. Knowing Southeast Texans have many choices when it comes to pursuing a college degree or technical certification, Lamar State College Port Arthur puts student customer service as one of their highest priorities. Students deserve the right to pursue their educational dreams without having to jump through hoops to do it. That's why Lamar State College Port Arthur formed the Office of Enrollment Services. Enrollment counselors are our front line for recruiting students at Lamar State College Port Arthur. The Enrollment Services Department is set in a conveniently located area with easy access for prospective students. This VIP treatment continues as students are guided through the process of admissions, advising, and financial aid. Our new Dean of Student Services, Dr. Deborah Hebert, has streamlined the process of becoming a student. And all of our student service offices are conveniently located on a single floor in the Student Center, a one-stop shopping experience for our busy students. As we work every day to serve students, our campus continues to change and grow. The vision we've worked hard to achieve will become a reality beginning in the summer of 2016. Over the next 2 years, Lamar State College Port Arthur will expand its campus with a new student housing facility and a technical education building. Construction of the Technical Education Building begins this summer. This state-of-the-art facility will house the Process Technology Program, Instrumentation Program, as well as other technical programs. This beautiful new addition will become an architectural focal point in the middle of the campus. And existing technical program facilities will be repurposed for other classes and programs. Another exciting development project for Lamar State College Port Arthur is the Seahawk Landing New Student Housing Project. This project is a public and private partnership and includes a $1 million grant and $1 million loan from the Port Arthur Economic Development Corporation. The project will add a 100-bed facility in the first phase of construction, with an additional 80 beds set for the second phase. Conveniently located on Lakeshore Drive next to the existing Carl Parker Multipurpose Center, Seahawk Landing will become the home away from home for students in the coming years. Our graduates of Lamar State College Port Arthur are a direct reflection of the superior level of education that our students receive. Our school's reputation opens the door to both higher education and employment opportunities. The most recent statistics show a 94% placement rate among our graduates. With a degree or certificate from Lamar State College Port Arthur, 9 out of 10 graduates either continue their education at a 4-year university or follow a path to career fulfillment. We're proud to provide our area industries and beyond this caliber of talent and expertise.
My professor, Jim Powell from Lamar State College Port Arthur, did a great job in dedicating his time with us, the students, and he did come with each individual student to help us out when we had questions.
Lamar State College has a mini lab, which is hands-on, and once I got out here, it really helped me trace lines and everything else. We did the exact same thing we done in class, I'm actually doing out here, and it helped me out a lot.
Now is truly an exciting time to be part of Lamar State College Port Arthur. Our students and faculty will continue the tradition of providing one another a superior college experience as we journey together towards a future of technological advancements, user-friendly student services, and campus building enhancements. Success is closer than you think at Lamar State College, Port Arthur.
Regents, any comments, questions? That was fantastic.
Yeah, that was great.
That was just fantastic. Well, I know Mike had to step out for a second, but I just wanted to say that Mike's words were well received, and I would tell you that we are here and we know we're in a very unique system. We're as proud of our certificate winning students as we are of our PhD students, and that's the reason we're here. I'd like to say that again. Thank y'all very much. Very proud of y'all. Let's move on to the next order of business. TSUS Foundation update. Pat Tibbetts, Executive Director of the Foundation, will give his update.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, these are the items I'm going to brief you on this morning. Golf tournament fundraiser, the Grow Your Own Scholarship, Kemple Scholarship, an update on Regents Awards, our annual audit and tax return, and the investment report for the fourth quarter of 2015. Once again, this fundraiser, which was suggested by former Regent Ron Mitchell at Horseshoe Bay at the Summit Rock Golf Course, which is their latest and greatest one. Monday, April 11th, 2016, the goal is still $50,000. Horseshoe Bay Resort is providing complimentary card screen fees and other discounts. And we've already got, I believe, one highest tier donor already, $10,000, and the donor invitations just went out this week. So we're doing well. Here's the status of the students on the Grow Your Own Scholarship. We have about 280,000 in the bank, 130,000 in unspent obligations, which leaves us with 146,000, almost $147,000. So we have plenty of money for additional scholarships. Now, I swear a month ago the changes to this program were complete, and then I got the bright idea to have an employee benefits attorney look at the contract and the changes to the program because it kind of butts up against employee benefits. And he had some questions about it. You know, could we even call it a scholarship? And is it even really a loan if the intention is to forgive it? And so there are tax consequences potentially to the student of these changes. So as soon as we get that stuff figured out, we'll submit a plan to the board, to the foundation board, and have them vote on it. Here we go. Kemple Scholarship, nominations due April 1st. There is plenty of money in that till. And in fact, it's probably the best invested portion of the foundation's portfolio. And all your financial aid offices know about it, so have already been asked. Regents Awards. The foundation board last week approved some changes that would allow all of these awards to run the same timeline, where the call for nominations in February and then a presentation in November. It was originally set up staggered to sort of spread the workload around, but it turned out that what they really wanted, what the action officers at the colleges really wanted, was for it to match up with their internal recognition. Even though it was more work at one time, they'd rather just do it all that way. So incidentally, the Regents Professor Awards are due Monday, May 2nd, and the schools should all know about that. We just presented the Regent Staff and Regent Teacher Award, and everything will realign again next February. Audit's complete. There were no significant findings, and tax return will be filed on April 15th. Our investment report, has been a lot of volatility, as I also told you in November. It's been up and down and up and down and up and down since last summer, and it's down a little bit more since these numbers came out. So returns for the fourth quarter, 2.5%. For all of 2015 calendar year, down 2.25%. But over 3 years, for a moderate portfolio, we did pretty well. It's over 5% for 3 and almost 5% since the inception, since we started with LBJ Family Wealth Advisors. Now, I am prepared to talk about that bond ladder if you want me to, but I didn't include it since we don't have any specificity in it. From the last meeting. We don't know what it's going to look like yet, but
no.
Okay, we can talk about it next time. Any questions, comments?
Any questions? Be sure that you get the applications in for the scholarships. How do we follow up on that?
I have points of contact at all the financial aid offices or scholarship offices at each school. Okay. And I start pestering them, about a week or two before it's due. And then there's enough time built into it to where they can even be a little bit late. Oh, wait a minute, did I say that in public? No, you need to be right on time.
Don't say that. Keep me posted on that, please. Keep that in mind, everyone.
Anything else?
Any questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, Pat. Any other questions, guys? All right, let's move on then. Next order of business is the approval of the consent agenda. These items are found at the end of each section. Are there any items members want to remove from the consent agenda? Well, if no one objects, then I move to adopt all items on the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Regent Montaigne. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, and the motion passes. So having approved the minutes and the consent agenda, the remaining item under general motions is an information item outlining the dates and locations for future board meetings. Do we have that? Next meeting is in May in Round Rock, August in Austin, November, Sam Houston State University. So we at this time, we will accept any public comments. Is there anyone present who would like to make a public comment? Public comments will be limited to 5 minutes. Is there anyone present? No. Well, our next quarterly meeting will be May 26th through 27th, 2016 at Texas State University Round Rock campus. This concludes the meeting of the Board of Regents for the Texas State University system. If there's no objection, we will now adjourn the meeting, and the time is 10:09 a.m. Thank you all so very much.
Good meeting, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you all. Great meeting. Fantastic.